Hello Benildians, welcome to my channel. First and foremost, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hannah El Batum. I'm a first-year student at De La Salle College of St. Benilde, where I am studying BS Architecture. I will be showing you my midterm, major plate in one of my classes, History of Architecture. I've chosen one famous building in the Philippines, the Culture Center of the Philippines, commonly known as CCP. So who is the architect of this building? Leandro V. Locsin was a Filipino architect, artist, and interior designer known for his use of concrete, flooding volume and simplistic design in his various projects. Moving on to his educational background. He studied in La Salle College in Manila for his elementary and secondary education, and in the University of Santo Tomas for his college. Despite the popularity in the field of architecture, it was not his first choice. A pre-law course to pursuing his passion for music, he found himself at long last in what appeared to be his true love, the architecture. Leandro was the first Filipino architect that truly made an international reputation. Locsin designed numerous modern buildings, and his accomplishments contributed remarkably to the development of architectural culture in Asia. Among them is the Cultural Center of the Philippines. It is a government-owned and controlled corporation established to preserve, develop and promote arts and culture in the Philippines. It provides performance and exhibition venues for various local and international productions and programs. The Culture Center of the Philippines is embodied with love of truth, beauty, and goodness. The brutalism style of the Cultural Center of the Philippines was made it to be known. This gigantic building took 3 years to build, from 1966 to 1969. It covers a 62-hectare property along the Roxas Boulevard fronting Manila Bay. The building is built on a massive podium, and entry is through a vehicular ramp in front of the raised lobby and a pedestrian side entry on its northwest side. In front of the facade and below the ramp, there is an octagonal reflecting pool with fountains and underwater lights. The lobby is opulent with marble floors, a curving staircase, and glass capes and shell chandeliers. Large areas on the upper floors are open to the ground floor lobby, emphasizing the large chandeliers and fluid interior spaces on the northeast side of the building. Its brutalist design, which includes the use of concrete in a huge and enormous geometric form, curved lines supporting one giant cuboid, and repeated components of the building's external detail, will compel you to stare at it. Asphalt and glass make up the right side of the CCP. The enormous facade of the CCP has clean sweeping lines. Cement is mixed with broken seashells found on the reclamation site to make concrete finishes. Now that I've shown you the history of the architect and the building, as well as the planning, circulation, and materials used, let's criticize the building. The building's vehicle ramp does not have valet services readily available from the lobby entry. The ramp is primarily for chauffeured audience members. Pedestrians must approach through the side door or the ramp's limited walkway. Andy Locsin defended the design, saying that the decision to put the entire structure on the platform was taken in response to rising sea levels on reclaimed land, not to promote an aristocratic lifestyle. The architecture of the structure is very peculiar in our country. Its design is symmetrical and balanced. The CCP's linear symmetry stood out against the organic curves' flowing asymmetry. Let us now have a look at my redesigned building, which is Culture Center of the Philippines, that has ancient Egyptian architecture. The front elevation is 28.5 meters in height and 101 meters in length. I chose to add hieroglyphics on the upper portion of the structure, as you can see from the front view, and it continues on the right, left, and rear side elevations. For the windows and doors, I chose to remove the glass and doors throughout the structure because there was no glass and doors in ancient Egypt, so I simply replaced them with an entry with no door and windows with no glass. The left elevation has a height of 28.5 meters and a width of 187 meters. I opted to include a cat in Pharaoh. Cats are one of the most well-known creatures in Egyptian art and culture. Cats were thought to be mystical creatures capable of delivering good fortune to anyone who kept them. Behind that cat, I also sketched a pharaoh's half-face. I opted to group them together on the building's left side since they are both worthy of attention. The right elevation has a height of 28.5 meters and a width of 187 meters. I chose to place Egyptian flowers on the right side elevation. Lotus flower was used to symbolize the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt in tombs and temples across Egypt. I also decided to draw a god and goddess of Egypt. I'd like to emphasize that Egypt had one of the most extensive and intricate pantheons of gods of any civilization in history. The rear elevation is 28.5 meters in height and 101 meters in length. I chose to design the Abu Simbel temple on the rear elevation. It was ideal for the back elevation, and I wouldn't miss the opportunity to create a temple because temples were really important in ancient Egypt. Egyptians would execute rituals, deliver gifts, reenact myths, and maintain the universe in order at the temple, which was the home of a certain deity. Different shades of brown, gray, and beige were the colors I chose. I chose neutral colors because I believe they will best complement the structure. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, bye.